and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I am looking to discuss Guns N' Roses' 2008 release. And that is Chinese Democracy. Now, if there was ever a record where a band felt like they were down to one original member, you know, if there was ever one album that summed that up better, I don't know what it would be, because this record is a mess. There's, what's that song? The only Sheckler's Revenge or Sheckler's Revenge. It's the only song I liked. IRS had its moments. I think it was IRS at least. Had its moments. This legitimately feels like a band in half. It's in a... If I attempt to say something good about it, I automatically think about Scars on Broadway and Serge's solo stuff from System of a Down. Scars on Broadway was, of course, Darren from System of a Down solo stuff, and Serge has a whole pile of things that he does under his name. And when you hear, you know, like one of Serge's records or one of Scars, or either of the Scars on Broadway records, they sound like, oh, that's Darren's part of System, that's Serge's part of System, and they legitimately sound like half of System of a Down. It's kind of what's going on here, except the problem is even Axl's piano. And Axl's piano has always been one of the most epic parts of the Use Your Illusions era of Guns N' Roses for me. Whenever his piano playing would start, you know that that song was going to kick ass. And like November Rain, I'm Looking at You. And his piano still sounds like it's Axl Rose. And it still has that Guns N' Roses vibe. But that's pretty much it. And even his piano feels like it's on an island by itself, wondering where Slash and Duff went. I don't know what to say. It's just the production's too slick. The production feels soulless. It feels like it's like they spent so much money on this record trying to make it shine as much as possible to maybe possibly help mask the fact that the songs are awful. Because the songs on here are fucking terrible. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. They're way too long. Where is it? Let's see. Sorry clocks in at 6 minutes. Madagascar's almost 6 minutes. And Prostitute. Nice. Click. That charts in and clocks in, sorry, in another 6 minutes. And I can tell you this. There's no reason for that. This doesn't even sound like a Guns N' Roses record. It's like... Its production has more in common with, like, Limp Bizkit's, like, Significant Other or Chocolate Starfish. It's not dirty. There's no grit. There's no grime. The subject matter is just sort of, like, there. And it's hard to believe that The General has apparently come out of these sessions. Because I absolutely love The General. Like, I love The General. Like, I love that song. It's, like, the heaviest thing they've ever done. And... not that I really need Guns N' Roses to be heavy, but it is, man. That fucking chorus just crushes in so big. And it's really hard to believe that that song came from this era. And I guess at the same time, I could argue that Hard School and Absurd, apparently, and what is it, Shadow of Your Love, I think they all came from this era. Because they sound like Guns N' Roses songs, especially Hard School. But... this record, I don't know what the hell it is. Axl's voice is amazing. His vocals are wicked, and they are the absolute best part of this album. I don't even like the artwork. The title's kind of clever, because China does have the strongest democracy on Earth, so I like how that he signals out to that, because the entire planet, every country, all 200 plus countries, look to China for how to treat your people with care, concern, freedom, and respect. The entire world, like Canada and the United States, we pale in comparison to how well China treats their citizens. So thank you, Axl Rose, for pointing out how their democracy is superior to ours. That was a joke and a bad one at that. This record's terrible. I'm done. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed Guns N' Roses' 2008 album, Chinese Democracy. It's not very good. But you know what is good? You! You fucking kick ass. And thank you for making it to the end of the video, too, because that's a fucking feat with me, because I ramble. But most importantly, please don't forget that the world is actually a better place because you're in it. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good night.